I'm not trying to hurt people's feelings, but the simple fact is not all coaches are on the same level. Some people have not fought before. Some people did fight, but didn't do that well. Even some people who say they're world champions. It's like, well, what real title did you win? So that's not to say that your coach doesn't know what they're talking about, but many don't. And today we're gonna focus in on 5 errors that I keep seeing people making, and a lot of times it's in classes when the coach is right there. I'd like to thank the partner of this episode, XMARTIAL. They have been supporting the channel for quite some time now. Awesome company, great group of people working there. They have the coolest shorts, the best designs. They are doing the most for the martial arts community out of any company I know. They're traveling right now across North America in an RV, going to gyms, giving away gear. Fantastic, fantastic company to support and to get your next order of training gear from. Down in the description, I have a link which will save you 10% with promo code Gabriel Varga. Head over and check them out right now. All I'm trying to do on this channel, guys, is give you loads of information. Information that has served me well in winning my titles. And I've watched, before I won these titles, loads of high-level fighters like Buakaw, Masato, go, how did they do it? And they did it the same way that I'm doing it because I pretty much copied them. This works. What I'm gonna show you today, in my opinion, does not. Let's start with number 1. When somebody throws a big round kick at you, what do? A lot of people are taught to catch the kick. I love it. Catch the kick. That makes a lot of sense. I'm not gonna get into the actual technique of how you should properly catch a kick because we've covered that on the channel numerous times, but I'm gonna show you what a lot of people are doing, which I don't like. They go to catch the kick and they put the other hand over here on the shin. It's like they're going, okay, the shin's gonna hit me in the rib cage, so I'm gonna put my hand here as I catch. I like the idea, I suppose, minimize the impact on the body by touching the leg, touching the shin as it comes in to hit you, and at the same time catching. The downside of this is your whole entire head is going to be completely open and you have nothing to stop them when they start punching. Or if they're really good, they're going to throw their leg up. See that you do that. Next time they're going to throw it and boom, knock you completely out cold. So there's no reason, in my opinion, to catch kicks with 2 hands. I think it's dangerous, especially on a roundhouse kick where the person could be closer than a front kick, right? If it's a front kick and they catch it, or I catch the front kick, their foot is right against my stomach. They're gonna be completely legs length away. But on the roundhouse kick, they could be catching at the lower shin. It could be up to the upper shin, which means they will be within punching range. So I would advise keeping the other hand plastered to the head, catch the kick, make sure you do everything else right, like clear the head, take the step, flex the lat to protect the rib cage, squeeze the abs, all of that at once, boom. I've never had any trouble doing it that way. And I've made sure that I've never got countered with a punch because my hand is up and ready to shift if I need to protect for straight punches or need to protect for a hook. The next common error that I see time and time again at gyms is people setting up to throw their knees and they do it like that. And I don't understand the point in swinging this down. It makes sense when you throw a front kick because I'm at such a length that when I throw my front kick, he can't punch me. There's no reason he should be able to punch me. I'm far away. The leg is longer than the arm. But once I get to that range where I'm throwing a knee, what happens if they come with an overhand? I step forward, I pull my hand down, and boom, again, I get knocked out. I've seen that happen many times in high-level pro fights. One of my first Glory experiences was at Glory 13, I want to say, in Chicago, and somebody did something wrong with their hand, and they were out cold. So as I step forward, either both hands control the head so my shoulders are up high, or this hand that was pulling down stays up, and I throw my knees like that. And that keeps me very protected, doesn't leave those big openings for somebody just timing you. Okay, I'll just wait for him to throw the knee, boom, and done. Another massive mistake that is made at many gyms is they don't focus on head movement. They tell you don't bother slipping because when you slip, you're going to lean into a kick. Eventually you're going to lean into a kick, you're going to get knocked out, so we don't teach it. Never slip. So you see these guys and they keep their heads completely upright all the time, but if you don't develop an awesome Dutch guard, how are you going to block all the punches? Like, of course, yes, you can parry shots, but eventually somebody's going to get through. You're going to go to your Dutch guard, and that's not ideal all the time. I think teaching head movement is something all coaches should be doing, and it's very simple. As I drop to the side to slip, I just make sure my outside hand is at my head. If I'm far, far away and I'm kind of doing this kind of stuff, then yeah, I might end up leaning in, unless you have awesome reflexes like Adesanya. Adesanya can slip all day, but he's ready for, okay, if I drop this direction and I know the round kick's coming, I'll get my hand up or I'll bail and go the opposite direction. But all you need to do, and for all the coaches out there too, all you need to do when you're teaching people that yes, we can slip, is just make sure the outside hand is up high. Reset. And then I can still move my head and even sometimes just have my hand close to my jaw so I can make that little adjustment if needed. But slipping is something you should absolutely be doing, whether it's for MMA, Muay Thai, kickboxing. It doesn't need to be your go-to form of defense, but it's definitely something you want to have in your arsenal to deal with somebody who's very aggressive with punches and you're finding that, oh, my Dutch guard's just not cutting it right now. I want to start making them miss a little bit more. So a bit of a mistake, in my opinion, to not teach that to your students. Now we are returning to executing a technique. We're going to talk about throwing the round kick and what's a common mistake that many people make. A lot of people go, okay, I'm going to teach my students that when they throw their round kicks to not get punched. So as they execute their round kick, I want them to make sure I have the swinging hand, and then the other hand is going to be up in front. So it's like this. I can't tell you how many gyms I've been to where they teach that. Number one, I feel like it kind of blocks your vision. Like there's a second there where it's kind of in the way. I don't love that. But number two, again, we've already talked about arm length versus leg length. If I'm throwing my round kick, why am I worried about this guy punching me? Yes, he might block it and then close the distance and start landing shots. But by that time, I should have gone from here back to here and make that adjustment. Hands off to the side and then hands back to the front. What we do not want to have happen is I pull my hand up the middle and a roundhouse kick, which came a second before mine, or at the same time, comes up to head level and I have my hand down the middle and I get kicked in the head. And this is good advice for low kicks, for head kicks, for body round kicks. Alex Pereira won his first Glory title fight because his opponent threw a low kick and he came with the right high kick and this hand was slightly out of place. In this instance, the guy Jason Wilness didn't have it in front, he had it a little too far back and the foot clipped. Keep this in front. At this point here, where it's going to block anything that comes off to the side, protects your jaw. We don't want it here, we don't want it too far back. Not teaching this, not understanding this is really, really wrong. And hopefully your coach has taught you how to do this from the very beginning. The last mistake, which I want to talk about today, and it's not so much a technical mistake, it's not letting people know there are multiple options. So we're talking about gyms who teach you strictly that you need to throw your hook with your thumb up, or you need to throw your hook with your thumb facing towards you. And they only teach you one way and they only allow one way in your gym. Neither is wrong, both are right. We have some fighters, more from North America, I would say, guys like Mike Tyson, if you're a kickboxing fan, Mike Zambidi, and they throw with the thumbs up. Am I going to tell them they're wrong? That doesn't work? No. But then we have high-level boxers, guys like Bivol out of Russia, who throw their hooks like this. And what am I going to tell them? You're doing it wrong? The dude is awesome. And so many people throw their hooks with that thumb even facing down, not just towards them. And a lot of this is dependent on each person, the way their body mechanics work, how long they like to throw their hooks. We must change depending on our body type, our structure, what feels good. We're looking to not damage our shoulders, not damage our wrists. And for some people, the key is keeping the thumb up. For some people, it's turning it over. If you ever find like the hook is not clicking, the way you want it to, something's off, and you've always been taught to throw it only one way, try to experiment with different ways to turn the hand over. It might cause you to pop your shoulder, get your elbow a little bit higher, but that might work perfect for you. Again, it's not that either of these are wrong, but in my opinion, it's very wrong to not show students, look at these are the options, they both work, choose what works for you, as opposed to my gym only does this. So there are 5 ways that you guys can sharpen up your techniques, get rid of these mistakes, which you've probably been told by people who, like I said at the beginning, I don't want to dig in on anybody, but they might not know as much as they think they know about fight sports. Thank you for joining me, guys. As always, train hard. I'll see you back here soon for another video.